filmed my first wedding with the Sony a7 IV, and here's what I learned. And I have more batteries, but I made the biggest mistake. It was exciting, stressful, and honestly, I learned a lot. In this video, I'm gonna show you my biggest takeaway so you don't make the same mistake as I did. Whether you're planning to shoot your first wedding or just you're curious about the Sony a7 IV for event works, then this video is for you. So here's the deal. I did a lot of videography and filmmaking, but this was my very first time to be on a wedding. And weddings are a whole different game. There are no second takes, no second chances. If you miss a moment, it's gone forever. I was both excited and nervous, but I trusted my Sony a7 IV to do the job. And honestly, it did, mostly. For this wedding, I rigged up my camera to be a handheld shooter. And as you can see, Sony a7 IV with the Sigma 28-70 f2.8 very compact lens. The a7 IV is a beast hybrid shooter with the full-frame 33 megapixel sensor and 4K video, but in this project I was only focusing on making videos, not photos. Lesson 1. Prepare more than you think. And actually I thought that I was prepared, but the day moved so fast, from the bride getting ready, from the groom getting ready. You have to know the schedule inside out. If I could do it again, and I will do it again, I will definitely make a schedule with them so that I know every single step when and what's happening, because this day I was shooting outside some b-rolls of the scene, but and then someone just came to me that, hey, the bride is getting ready, do you want to get some shots? We are getting dressed now. It's like, yeah, man. So I run up and then I did my job, but I was so focused on something else and I didn't know when and what's happening. So this is a crucial point. Lesson 2. Autofocus is your best friend, but don't rely 100%. The a7 IV autofocus saved me a lot of times, but there were times when it was looking for a clear focus. I think it's mainly the settings. I'm not completely familiar with the Sony settings right now, but yeah, you have to go deep into the menu and refine your autofocus settings completely, so you know what your camera is doing in your hand when pointing to a frame. Pro tip here: you can trust your autofocus system, but don't rely on them. For example, the moment when the groom got the ring and then pen and then do the whole ring ceremony, I actually did everything on manual focus. First of all, I have a monitor on top of the camera, so it's a big one. I have focus peaking on it. It's kind of easy to monitor your focus, but again, I did it on manual focus because I did not want to miss that moment, and I would rather have a shot when I'm like switching the focus and then there are like some very small clips, segments that it's out of focus because I'm searching for it, rather than having like a completely out of focus shot. And again, because you can't ask them to, hey everyone stop, we have to do the ring thing again. No, you can't do that. Lesson 3. Battery life and storage. Weddings are long, like 8 to 10 hours long. This was a small garden wedding, and I knew that I can't stay until the very end, the reception part, the party part. So I just agreed with them that I'm gonna stay until the food was delivered and then they were eating and then we have some shots there, and then that was all. And in that case, we started at 2 o'clock and then we finished around 8 o'clock. That's 6 hours, and in that period I used one V-mount battery, like completely. It was like 7% at the very end. We are talking about V-mount V99 batteries, you know. And I have more batteries, but I made the biggest mistake. On the wedding day, I had my list, my checklist, what I had to do, and I literally went through on everything. I checked them, I packed them to a hard case. And I rigged out my camera, so I just have to pick it up and then go and film. So I have that set up, and I have the hard case with all the other accessories, all the extra SD cards and batteries and things like that. I was driving to the place. It was 1 hour driving, and at the very end of my drive, of my trip, I realized I left the hard case at home. I started to panic. What's gonna happen? do I even have an anti-filter on the camera? And I was so lucky because I was preparing the handheld camera rig at home, and just out of the blue I just screwed the filter on the front of the lens just to be there. And I'm so happy that I did, because without that I either have to go back home 1 more hour and then 1 more hour back, so 2 hours. I had no time for that, or just try to shoot without anti-filter. You're watching this video, you know how to make video. You can't do that without anti-filters. I can, yeah, of course I can shoot with f8, but no man, that's gonna be like tragic. But I was lucky, the filter was on the lens. But again, I had no extra batteries, I had no extra nothing. I wanted to do BTS with the GoPro. I left everything in the case. So the lesson here, I don't know, just make sure that you packed everything in the car, turn around and check it again, because I didn't. So battery life and storage. For this wedding, I feel, no, I know that I needed 2 batteries. I only had 1, but I have 2. Yeah, at the end of the day, I could just swap it and then I have an extra day to shoot with. But no. And then memory, in terms of memory, I used 2 times 128. I have dual SD card slots. And the first I don't know, hour or something, I set the camera to shoot continuously, so basically doubling the file on the same SD card at the same time. And that's like the best safe method in terms of wedding videography, if you know, because even if one card is gonna go bad, then you have the other one. But again, I realized that 128, that's fine if you have 2 and then you fill up one and then you fill up the other one. But if you set it up to shoot on 2 SD cards at the same time, I saw on the screen that I have 2 hours, 2.5 hours of filming capability. So I can shoot for 2.5 hours, raw material, and that was all. And I do it on 2 SD cards. But a wedding, it's like 6 to 10 hours and I can only shoot for 2. That's not gonna happen. So again, I had to change my settings, and instead of being very safe and then shoot on 2 SD cards at the same time, I had to do that. I'm gonna shoot on 1 SD card, and then when it's filled up, I go down and then shoot to the other one, risking that if something goes wrong with the first SD card, I lose everything on that one. But I had to, because I had no other options. I had no more SD cards because it was in the hard case. Lesson 4 would be capturing audio, but I decided that this specific video, my very first video, not gonna have audio, not gonna have the speeches and promises, but it was totally okay with the couple. I will try at one point, but if you want to do audio, then you have to be very, very ready. You have to either lav mic them or wirelessly mic them, or you have to have like 3 different boom mics on the shot, and you need a lot of gear for that. How the Sony a7 IV performed. Overall, the a7 IV was a very amazing tool this wedding. We have pros as incredible image quality, solid dynamic range, and great autofocus. And cons as the rolling shutter is noticeable when you have to do fast motions. And we have a 4K 60 crop, but I did not shoot in 60 at all. I decided to go with 24 FPS, capturing the real time moment, the real life time moment. That was my idea behind it, and I think it's just fine. We have a lot of wedding video on YouTube, on the internet, showing these very nice, very detailed, detail-oriented gimbal shots, you know, slow motion, 60 FPS. It's beautiful, but I started to think otherwise and go with 24 FPS because you are in the moment, you are living this, and I wanted to show this to the couple. And when I sent them, they were very, very happy about it, and they very liked the idea, the whole idea behind it. For the A7 IV, filming my first wedding, it delivered. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more filmmaking tips, and drop a comment and let everyone know what was your biggest mistake or takeaway on your wedding shoot.